Okay. Welcome out, everybody, for our essential oil spotlight tonight. Our essential oil spotlight is a blend, Digest Zen, which is a digestive blend. And Jade's prepared a lot of wonderful things for us today. And so I'll turn the channel
Thank you so much, Ben. I'd love to have Ben with me because he's our tech guru. So today, as you heard, we're going to talk about Digest Zen. And this is an oil that everyone should have at home and with them at all times. I think I just thought of another thing that I forgot to put in here. I thought, hey, this is an easy oil. And I thought, I'll just take a few minutes and I'll type it up. But it took me all day because I kept thinking of new ideas and, new things to put in there or other things that I haven't
in between all other things.
Yeah, in between everything else I was doing. So anyways, here's a summary. Digest Zen is great for nausea, morning sickness, and I should have put travel bugs. And I put morning sickness into twice. I don't know why. Digest Zen, gut concerns, gas and bloating, overstimulated and overwhelmed. So I better fix that picture soon. But we have a few people on our call right now. I'd like to hear what your experiences are before we get right into this. Anybody want to share?
Anything you feel?
Absolutely, I want to share. I always try to wait because I feel like I'm always talking with you guys, and that's so not like me, Jade.
No, that's great. Go for it.
So, digestion. So I'm detoxing. I've got some really terrible parasites in my system, and I knew it was probably going to get a bit ugly, but didn't expect it to get really ugly. And there was a day I was just sitting at the desk doing some work, and I literally felt like my stomach. I've got like a hula hoop, which I'm working on removing, and it felt like my stomach just fell to the ground. And I'm sitting, and then the sudden urge, I just wanted to throw up, and it was really bad. And I had just, maybe an hour prior to that, I had taken what I needed to get through the day, my detox. And I was at the sink for a good couple of minutes trying to throw up. Nothing came out whatsoever. And part of the whole detox, my stomach is, and I know there's lots of movement, so I know these parasites are moving. And sometimes I have to just stop whatever it is I'm doing, including the children, and I have to just go lay down. But interesting enough, digestion is the one that helps speed it up. Otherwise, I'd be bedridden for quite a while. And so I take it, I administer, put it under my tongue, and then I have some water, go and lie down, and within probably 5 minutes, and there'll be times where I'm just going to lay here a little bit longer because I'm kind of enjoying this, and then I'm ready to go back to whatever it was I was doing. And so I was talking with one of the ladies from church, and she's suffering Lyme disease, and she prepared me and said, well, this is probably what's going to happen. I started experiencing it physically, but digestion's been my saving grace. And then I had a girlfriend just this past weekend. We were chatting, and then she said, oh, I've got to go. And she said, I've got to take my sister to the doctors. And I said, what happened? So she went out with her girlfriends, went drinking, and she said she's cramping and she's vomiting. And I said to her, hey, listen, I said, your little first aid kit, which is a little keychain. I said, pull out. I said, don't forget you've got digestion. She goes, can I use this? I said, yeah, definitely. So she raced off and she goes, okay, so I'm going to get off the phone, go and help your sister. Put a couple of drops under her tongue or put it in a glass and let her drink it. So it was really good to see how it helps with nausea and cramping. And I tell everyone now that get some of the oils, I say, you must carry this. I always carry it with me in I upgraded my keychain to a bigger one so I can carry all my ones. And so it's a must. You must have it in your home. Exactly what you said, Jade. You must always carry it with you.
Yeah, it's sort of like your keychains had babies. Because mine, I just have one, and then I have another one, and then another one. Yeah. So fantastic. Exactly. Don't you feel like you're a little, I don't know, a mini nurse that runs around and helps people because someone's always got something. I walk through the door of church and one lady runs out and she's like, Jane, hello, I haven't even gotten in yet. She's like, my daughter fell face down, do you have lavender? Yes, use my little mini. So it's like,
you're right, Jen, and they catch you off guard. But you know what I really enjoyed personally, I don't know if you can see this, I carried this around. And Netta and I were going through our first date and we're like, my lanta, and we grew up with these sort of things.
Oh, yes.
So we go, I had so much fun throwing it in the bin.
Yeah, so she's holding up a 2 ml oil bottle for those people who are listening. And my lanta is the Aussie version of your Pepto-Bismol here in the States, right? So it's awesome to know that you've got something really powerful that's going to help people really quickly. Yeah, it's really exciting.
And welcome, Debbie.
Welcome, Debbie. All right, Debbie, I'm glad you're on here because this is, an oil, and peaches too, yay! An oil that I know that Debbie has a lot of experience with too, especially with women who are pregnant and stuff. So this blend has 7 oils: anise seed, ginger, peppermint, fennel, caraway seed, coriander, and tarragon. Okay, so this is just really, really effective oil. And the wonderful thing about DigestZen is it balances our body. Okay, anybody want to add to this so far?
The other day I was at the bank, and the banker, this is the oil that I suggested for him. He had an upset tummy, and he said he described it as a stomach bug.
Yeah.
And I thought, I could give him like sort of or on guard or anything, but for something that'll give him relief right away, DigestZen did the trick, and talked to him a couple days later, and he's like that.
He wants to meet. Yep. Yeah.
There's a lot of uses for this.
Yeah. Benjamin, he was good. He's at the bank and he promoted
There's
oils.
people everywhere on this planet.
Yeah. So just a little, I was wondering, some people tell me that, there's this large percentage of people that go to the ER, and most of that is a GI problem or gut problem. So I did a bit of reading, and I found out in 2004, 2.5 million hospitalizations, and of those, we have 7% of them are, gastrointestinal disease accounted for 2.5 million hospitalization. Okay, so that's a lot, and it cost about $20 billion for people in the US. So it's a big problem for us. It's
7% of all hospital stays.
Yeah, it's 7% of all hospital stays. And there's all sorts of gut problems, and they've got lots of labels for colitis, diverticulitis, and appendicitis, and just a whole slew of them. And there's something that we could do to significantly improve our gut health. Okay, and we talk about the 30-day cleanse, of course, but we have something very simple that with most people, if they just want to start with something small, because they don't want to get overwhelmed. Because I do meet people, and when I show them the 30-day cleanse, they're like, "What? That's a lot of stuff," and I can't even remember half of it, and I won't remember to do it all. And so I suggest something so simple as the DigestZen. Just so that they can see, wow, okay, it does work. So maybe I can lead them to the next level of cleansing and gut care.
A lot of people, I think, intuitively use DigestZen for symptom management.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than just managing symptoms.
Yeah, that's right. So DigestZen helps with digestion, of course. It's the name. It's very easy to remember, and soothes your stomach upsets, and overall it just helps with anything internal, just digestive. So the blend is a blend of ginger, fennel, coriander, peppermint, tarragon, aniseed, and caraway. Okay, so any sort of digestive concerns, this is an oil for you. And it's funny because it'll balance. So we have a lady who takes DigestZen for, because she takes lots of medications and she's constipated, so it helps her body go to the bathroom more. And her husband, on the other hand, with all his medication, he has, he goes a lot, too much, and it balances him up. And it's the same oil.
Yep.
Do you guys know why? Do you want to tell us, Debbie? Do you know why it's just the one oil, but it can do both? You're so used to one pill for the meal.
You know what? Digestion just works for everything. And I tell them anything digestive.
Yeah.
So it does balance the body to do its job better.
Yep. It's just because it's balancing. The oils are alive. It's adapting to our cells, and it's selective. So it will select the different areas of our bodies to help. So it knows what we need to balance. And that's why this is so much more superior than drugs, because drugs say, hey, you don't, it doesn't have a brain. It says you need this, and this is how much you need. And that's always the case. Every dosage you take. But with the oils, even if you take the same dosage, sometimes your body says, hey, I need less, so I'm going to pee the excess out. Or, hey, I need that oil to go here right now, or there right now. So it's really intelligent. And my faith grows every time I receive more feedback of what things can do, and what these oils can do. But, you just trust. You just trust, and this is something that the kids can use too. I know that during Halloween, our family uses a lot of this because our kids don't want me to ruin Halloween all the time. They warn me, hey, Mom, don't ruin Halloween. And, oh, okay, you guys can have a little bit. And, it's always the case. They'll lift up their shirt and walk all the way to the oil shelf and digest then because they've had way too much. So, but it's great because I know that my kids, they can't mess up. They're not going to use too much, and they're not going to hurt themselves. If they do use too much, big deal. They're going to pee it all out.
So anything like throwing up, no appetite, upset tummy, diarrhea, gas, bloating, constipation.
Yeah.
All of it needs to be balanced. And you can do this on a regular basis. You can take this
you can take
every
this
day.
daily. That's right. Yep. Jean, you have your hands up.
Janabin, can I just share? So I was talking with my sister-in-law last week her journey with the oils are only new. She's still very skeptical, but she's using, the oils that she needs. And she's the one that was diagnosed with a really rare cancer, really messed up her digestive system. So she eats well, very holistic lifestyle. So pre-surgery, they put her on a different diet, and she wasn't coping with it. A lot of carbs, things she's not used to, and she has eaten that way for a long time. And then they also warned her after, post-surgery, she's probably going to be quite constipated. She's going to have to take laxatives. And she said, all I did, she said, I just took what you told me to take. And they were surprised she was still regular with her. She was able to clean her bowels out like normal. So it was really good to hear that she's having that experience, and she's doing it slowly, and she's learning from it and experiencing how she can do it naturally, which is everything she stands for. So she's very grateful.
Yeah, that's so great. And you just know you can share it safely with your sister and know that it's going to help her, right? And, it will help her in whichever way she needs it to help her. So kind of cool, huh? You just share with that confidence. Yeah. So DigestZen is one of our oils that help with metabolism. We do have the Slim and Sassy. We do have the Zendocrine. Okay, those are great. But then DigestZen is especially focused on digestive, and it's very quick and powerful. Okay, so Dr. Hill says that the most gastrointestinal disorders are secondary to inflammation from bacteria, viruses, parasites, and other microbes, and a lack of nutrition. So what he's trying to say is that it's an issue that's a symptom, okay, of a root problem. And the root problem is not eating right. And of course, we have overgrowth of bacteria, funguses, and viruses and other microbes in our gut. So this is why this blend is amazing, because it's powerful to fight those things. So with ginger, you can see it helps with spasms, right? We have those pains inside, helps with spasm, it helps with nausea, it helps to dissolve old mucus. Okay, so the mucus that's inside, that's just really stubborn, it'll break that down. So sometimes when you take in oils, you might cough it, or have phlegm and other things, or you have a certain texture of bowel movements. Don't freak out. That's normal. Sometimes people think something's changed. Oh my goodness, something's bad. But it's your body knowing exactly how to do it, because the oils are supportive of your body. Okay, so it helps with your organs, and it's very comforting. And emotionally, of course, it helps with courage, and it's uplifting to the spirit. And you can read more about ginger. I have a link here. Okay, peppermint is relaxing to the muscles in the intestinal tract. Okay, it promotes, I have to repeat this word several times because I had to learn. It's a Debbie, you want to say this word?
Yes, it's peristalsis.
Peristalsis. Yep. I practiced like 5-10 times today, and I couldn't say it still. But basically, what I understood, Debbie, was it helps with that pushing movement to move things along and out, right? So isn't that great? Peppermint does it. It says, hey, move around, brum, 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 pushing you out. Wow. It does that with oils too. It drives oils in, but then it drives all the junk out. So it really is a driver, a brum, brum driver. So I love it. Soothing and cooling for the body, inside and out. The Vietnamese people, when they say the word that says that you're sick, is you're hot inside. Like you're burning wrong inside. It's like the thermostat is broken inside or something. So they say, numb, and then we know that there's something wrong in there. But here, peppermint is the cooling agent. So it's interesting how, just the folk, I think old wives and stuff, they talk about that. Enhances bile processing.
And if you think of it, things like, your Pepto-Bismol and stuff, they have that peppermint smell to them.
They do.
Because they've manufactured, it's not even an extract, it's manufactured in a laboratory. Some, like one or two of the main constituents,
right.
But it's missing all the other stuff.
Yep, it needs to be in its complete molecular
structure. But they're trying to kind of mimic what nature already has here.
Yep.
And
it's hard to, because nature has all of these other little chemicals that kind of balance out the essential oil that's already there, and it just perfectly balances it in a way that your body knows how to metabolize and how to use. It's this beautiful carbon-based solution for you. Okay, so tarragon, don't know too much about it, but what I learned was it helps with your urinary tract as well. Okay, it helps cleanse your gut, of course, and it prevents fermentation in the intestinal tract. It assists in the absorption of B-complex vitamins. So, of course, that's interesting. And the muscle spasms. So we have several oils here that helps with the spasms. So that's kind of awesome there. Coriander helps with the pancreas and the gallbladder, and it assists the body in processing nutrients, helps motivates good oxygenation, and it helps your body absorb nutrients and enzymes to create new cells. Okay, so I have links here for some of the oils that we do have available from doTERRA to purchase, like coriander and fennel and ginger and peppermint, and it would just list out the other oils that we don't quite have yet. Caraway, great for the acid in our body, and great relief for gas and gas discomfort. So especially babies, we have people that have babies listening to this call. When they have that, we call it colic, right? It's gas, concerns. So that will help with. So the digestion will help because there's caraway that helps with that. And aniseed helps calm and strengthen the digestive system, calms the sphincters and balances acid, and supports in creating an environment for healthier digestion. Super smart. These people in doTERRA, they put all of their thoughts in here, and they mix it up very scientifically, but it works so powerfully. So here's your Digest Zen family. you have your regular 15 ml Digest Zen essential oil, but this essential oil comes in a soft gel too, makes it really easy to take internally. And then there's the Digest Zen Touch. So for mums of newborns or young infants, it's already diluted for you. So you just need to use it and rub it on the bottom of the feet.
And that's safe for any age.
And there's Digest Tabs, and this is your chewable tabs with calcium in it, so to help with the balancing the acid.
Yeah, and sometimes if you eat something wrong and you know you're going to have a tummy ache, using a few of those will help calm. It's kind of like the calcium works as a buffer.
Yeah.
And fixes your mistake.
So if you're taking the synthetic version, this is a great alternative for you. So when this came out, we went on vacation. Right after that, we went to Disneyland and Universal Studios. And of course, when you're traveling, you're eating junk a lot of times because it's easy. And this became our best friend. Ben fell in love with Digest Tabs right away. So, and he got all the kids to do it too. It's pretty strong for those who don't particularly enjoy peppermint or ginger. It's kind of strong, but it does the job, guys.
Can I just tell you, a really good application of these things together would be like if you have a bad night and you have some, digestive troubles or whatever, upset tummy. So what I've done in the past is take a Digest Tab, you chew it up, you swallow it with a peel, a soft gel peel. And then put some Digest Zen in water, and you're slowly sipping that, and you've got some of the Digest Zen.
He's getting Digest Zen in all angles.
The touch rubbed on your tongue. Well, you know what? The Digest Tab kind of just gets in there and starts working right away. The Digest soft gel, that's going to take a little while, but it's going to be a more long-lasting effect. And the water, the Digest Zen in your water just kind of helps to soothe it and on down. You can feel it kind of go into your system. You've got the topical application as well, so you can do all of these, in one go.
Yeah, but you know what? We get really impatient in doTERRA now, right? The people that are using doTERRA oils, we get impatient because we expect to be like better like now.
Now, bear in mind, I'm just using a couple of drops of Digest Zen itself. One soft gel tab, one tablet. But it's kind of akin to when you're applying Deep Blue. You got the undiluted Deep Blue. You just put on immediately. It'll give you the immediate effect, and then you've got the cream that you can put on afterwards.
And it
to kind of give you a slower release sort of thing. So that's, if you got an attack, that's how I would, that'd be my strategy. Everybody, and for guys, we particularly like that.
It's all about strategy, and that's how he approaches life.
Hey, Ben, I have a question for you, Ben.
Yeah.
Did you need any Digest Tabs after you ate those salt and vinegar beetles?
No, actually, those were quite yummy. They were crickets.
They're crickets. Yeah. I did not touch
crickets,
them.
That's right.
They taste like sunflower seeds. Yeah.
Oh, gee.
I found with just other couple of people who have joined, just before I hand them the little sample, I always say to them, because I didn't connect because it was part of the culture of you want immediate fixes. I want to fix right now. It's like, so I would always say to them now, before I hand it to them because they're willing to accept it and give it a go, I say, and so please bear it with patience. Allow your body to just let it process whatever it needs to do. And I get these beautiful comments, I did, and guess what, it worked, and they're shocked.
Yes, I like how you do that, because they manage their expectations, and they're happily surprised that it works really quickly.
Yeah.
And with a lot of things, sometimes you just need to try a few different things. But for the symptoms that we're talking about, the Digest Zen works for almost everybody. But you can't just take the Digest Zen to take care of the the occasional upset tummy. there might be something underlying that, and you might have to do something else.
Something bigger long term.
This might cover the symptoms, but
Yeah.
you might have to do a cleanse like over the long term.
Yeah, that's right. But hey, this is a great thing to, have in every home and with you all the time. Okay. So anybody else want to add to this? All right, you guys jump in when you want to, okay? So we go to the body. Yes, of course, the first thing is digestion. It helps with digestion. So just 1 or 2 drops, guys. Start there and put it on your tummy, or you can drink it in water. You can do both if you're Ben, so you can get it in at all angles and get it working.
I've actually got some of my water here.
Yeah.
And all it takes is 1 or 2 drops, because that peppermint is pretty strong, so that's all you need.
Yeah, I feel like every time I do an oil, is that day or that week I need that oil. It's like this perfect synchronicity in the universe.
It's like people studying medicine. I think they have all the diseases they study about.
Was it Sean Aker said his brother, he had menopause. Yeah, that was funny. So soothe the stomach lining. Okay, so we have different names for that, and you know what? Digescan can take care of that and help you relieve some of the discomfort.
What are the different names?
So we have colitis, and we have irritable bowels. So those names, okay. But it's just 1 or 2 drops of Digescan, oregano, and lemongrass in a capsule. You take it 3 to 4 times a day, and it helps your body soothe the lining. But remember what Dr. Heal said, this is secondary, right? This issue is secondary because the real issue is that we have these bacteria and funguses that have eaten through, the lining and
prolonged case of candida,
like rawness. Yeah.
That starts people might have food rotting in their intestine, and there may be some permanent damage, but you just got to get that stuff out, move it along.
And
then you begin to.
You know when you have the rot, because when you wake up in the morning, you smell it in your breath.
Hey, is there a time when people shouldn't take Digescan?
I don't know.
I've run into some people who have very sensitive stomachs.
Yeah, I think I had just maybe in the 8 years, maybe a handful, like 2 or 3 people, not even a handful, but 2 or 3 people that I felt like they just needed lemon.
That's right. That's what I was going to say. If someone finds that the peppermint in the Digescan is a little bit too strong, they could do the soft gel, or they could just
how I could tell, though?
Just start with the lemon.
You know how I can tell? It's just the look in their eyes. They have a ridiculously high amount of anxiety. And they come to you like, I need help. But it just felt like they've been so wound up for a million years already. And you've come to me because nothing else has worked. And at that time, I think to myself, well, I'm just going to help this person unwind slowly. And I want to give them an oil that will shock them, right? So maybe a little bit of lemon every day. And then I say, hey, you want to introduce Digescan into that lemon.
Lemon's a good start for everybody.
Yeah, very gentle, but very...
Never met anyone who didn't like it.
Yeah, I have 1 or 2. Yep.
I've always reached for wild orange when they do not tolerate Digescan. Same concept of the citrus, but you've got an interesting point with lemon.
Yeah, well, that's good. I like wild orange too.
Might even be
this one particular woman, I actually did give her wild orange instead. I don't know why. I think I must have tested her, but she had a 2-year coma, she said. She had very bad candida, where she's just slept most of her days. So I don't know why I gave her the wild orange
Start
instead.
there and then go to the
But we just did the one oil before we even went to the cleanse or anything else. So yeah, that's a good question, Ben. So
one other comment that I have, and that's there's a couple of times when if they have a real inflammatory condition of their bowel, that the digestion can be irritating. So I go with it, and if it's irritating at all, I go to cardamom or the wild orange. And cardamom's a fabulous one for.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think the irritation, some people is the peppermint. So you might try fennel or cardamom.
The oils without that. That's true.
Or ginger is still probably a bit.
Ginger is still hot.
Strong for those people.
You know, I do look at their skin as well. That's another indication. Some people have sensitive skin, or they have breakouts, or they have rashes or eczema already. So that tells me the level of toxins and candida that they have inside of their body. So maybe, DigestZen will cause the skin to break out even more, because it's really powerful. And again, go back to that lemon oil and PBS cyst. Yeah, but that's good. I've done wild orange.
Even the oregano and lemongrass in a capsule.
Yeah.
They've got a full-blown candida rash on their body.
Yep. So be careful. We suggest this here, but you guys make the call and adjust accordingly. Okay.
Yeah, for 99% of the people.
Yeah. But I do watch them carefully. I actually smell people too. I don't realize that. I'm like, sniff. Okay, I can smell people through their pores and stuff, and see how sick they really are on the inside. Okay. So now no one wants to be near me because I'll be sniffing them. So. Okay, so hangover, guys. When you have had too much fun, but this could be hangovers with alcohol, of course, but sugars and carbohydrates and meat too. Okay, so 1 or 2 drops in water, or rub it on your tummy. Okay. And that should help soothe the acid. Now we do have the digest tabs, and you can do what Ben does and use both. Okay, and it helps stimulate repair of the damaged tissues in the digestive system. Yeah. All right. Okay, the large intestine lining support. So we have people with those issues too.
What are those issues? No, it's not a compliance thing.
Look, I know. I get it. But you know what? I deleted all of it. I can't remember all of the names now. Hey, Debbie, you want to help me out there?
You don't have to be shy to name the disease.
Colitis comes to mind right off the bat when you say that. Yeah. There's a lot of people, and again, Jade, you're right, dead on when it comes back to candida, but there's a lot of people that have lost their colon due to colitis, and we've got something so simple.
Yeah, and Crohn's.
So simple, yeah.
So, but it's funny because I've had people say, I've got one doctor say I've got Crohn's, another doctor say I have colitis, but I'm all, hey, you know what? We've got junk in there that needs to be cleansed out. Let's just cleanse it out. So don't worry and fuss over the name. So, that's DigestZen, 3 drops, 2 drops of lavender because it soothes the tissues inside, and then Melaleuca, okay? With doTERRA Melaleuca, you can rest assured that you can use it. There's been arguments over should we take Melaleuca internally or not. With doTERRA's Melaleuca, yes, you can. Okay, so I said it because it's in the GX Assist, and so it's okay, guys. But because we have such a high grade essential oils, this is, I would be very careful using any other brand because I don't know how they do their testing and sourcing. Okay, so that's that. All right, so you do it as long as you need to. I have a lady that uses the GX Assist because she doesn't want to necessarily make this blend. She uses it every single day for the last 6 years. Okay, because she said when I stop, my body starts, breaking out and doing some funky things. But I think it's because she hasn't changed her diet very much. She's still eating the same things, but she wants to manage, and that's fine. I mean, everyone's different that way. But if you really want to truly make a difference in your body, you need to make other changes too, which is dietary changes. Okay. So this is interesting. The head tension acupuncture point. Ta-da! Right here. All right. So sometimes, if we have, suffering from the cold or the flu or whatever, and then our bodies are heavy, hurting, aching, and our head's heavy, and then you tend to have those head tensions, apply the oils to your hand and then just put pressure on this point. It's in between your thumb and your index finger, and it's just a soft tissue area. Yep.
Peaches, did you have your hand up?
Yeah. Hi. Hi, guys. Listening. My question was between. I just wanted you to go. What's the difference between the DigestZen tab and the actual oil blend?
Okay, you want to know the difference?
Yeah.
The DigestZen tabs has the whole blend of DigestZen in there, but extra calcium.
It's got a calcium base. So
Yep.
calcium's there to kind of neutralize the acids.
Mhm.
So it says calcium carbonate.
Oh, so that's good for like the acid reflux and
Yeah.
stuff.
So it's your healthy version of Tums. I don't know if you can see that.
But it still has the oils in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little
Okay.
thing and you can chew on it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
And it smells just like DigestZen.
Cool. Okay. I haven't tried those. I
know,
love the feel.
They're really good. You know, like when you chew up a bunch and swallow it with some water, it feels like it goes
It's
around
so
your,
cleaning and cooling.
like, protects your and soothes your stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
You know, like it's
got
covering the walls or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's one of the more one of the products where you can see more of an immediate result.
Yeah. It's the wow factor.
really?
Again, you know, this is symptom management. The Digest tabs, if you ask me,
Yeah.
the symptom management, but perfect for acid. I guess would be to give you digestive support. You know, when you're suffering from acid reflux or occasional over acids.
Okay. And so that's the acids or whatever. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
All right, 'cause the oil just works just fine. I love it.
Yeah.
The oil
I had a friend. She coughs for about half an hour after every meal because of all this acid that comes up, and she has to take this one drug. I don't remember what it's called. But it annoys her whole family because she makes these funny noises for half an hour. And she said, oh, just the one drop of DigestZen stopped it. And she said it doesn't happen again. And, you know, but that was years before the Digest tab. So, you know, I could have given her one of those. You know, it's like your Deep Blue when you're teaching a class, you want people to put that Deep Blue on first. So I ask people, hey, anybody sore or achy? And then, you know, by halfway through the class, you know, you can say, hey, how are you feeling? So Digest tabs like one of those things that you can say, hey, do you feel better now?
And if you're teaching a class on eating right, you know, you're going through the supplements and you go through digestive support and everything. It's good to have these where you can pass them around and people could, like, you know, take a tab as a sample.
Yeah.
They can see how it tastes. So
cool.
Once people, you know, sample that they like it quite a bit.
Well, you're welcome, Peaches. Okay, so for those listeners, we have a picture of a hand, and you're just pressing the soft tissue part in between your thumb and your index finger, so on both sides. So you can put essential oils on your hand, and then you press and hold on that point until the head discomfort subsides, and then you feel the muscle relax. So for as long as you need to hold it. So that's interesting. Okay, that's the acupressure point. Right, and you know, the DigestZen on the bottom of your feet, and then you can put it on your head. But that's when most of us are intuitive. We know what kind of headache we have. Okay.
So what kind of headache is this?
It's, you know, when you have a cold and stuff, it's for the gut. And sometimes using one oil might not help. You might consider DigestZen. It's something that people don't think about sometimes.
What would be the cause of that type of a headache?
When you have the cold and the flu, it could be just digestive problems.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, like, you know, when I had allergies a lot, there was a gut problem, but then that causes headaches later on too. Yeah. Okay, so germ destroying and cleansing. So DigestZen helps cleansing. So this is cleansing just fungus and things. You know, when your gut has a lot of candida, fungus, and even parasites. Okay, so we can just drink DigestZen. It's not that funny. So, you know, I had a story where this lady had worms and she just used simple oil like lemon oil to help her with that. So DigestZen, or has oils to help with similar things. So you can always see if DigestZen can help you. It's more than likely that it will help you. It helps your body cleanse from the mold and stuff too that's inside of you. Okay, so it's a very quick and easy way to do cleansing if you want to cleanse Candida. Of course, we do have a protocol for that, but this helps too. Yeah. Okay. Menstrual cramping. DigestZen. 3 drops of DigestZen, Whisper, and Marjoram together, and rub it on your stomach area and lower abs. And you try rubbing it on before you sleep. So, Debbie, do you do this, something similar to this with women who are pregnant? You use the DigestZen too?
I have not used it for cramping. Honestly, if they're having are you talking preterm labor symptoms?
No, just any time.
Well, I recommend the DigestZen all the time in childbirth or in pregnancy.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm a real fan of Terrazyme. I push Terrazyme on most every pregnant woman.
Yep.
And I really love that one. And if somebody's having a lot of acid reflux, or later on in the 2nd or 3rd trimester when they're having a lot of complaints of heartburn, I always push Terrazyme.
Yep, that's right. And we do have the Terrazyme. It's a DigestZen product. Okay, we're not talking about it today, but this is something that goes hand in hand when people say that they can't go to the bathroom. If I can help it, if they can help, I can purchase it. I suggest that they buy both.
Yeah, and this and the GX Assist, PV Assist, they're branded DigestZen, but they don't actually have any DigestZen essential oils in there.
Yeah. It's really good, and see, it helps with that bloating, the feeling of bloatedness. Well, when you have your periods too, so that's a good oil to have. Alrighty. So morning sickness and the occasional nausea, you can use DigestZen. Just even motion sickness, you can rub it on the back of your ears. So some people use ginger, some people use just peppermint, but DigestZen is another oil that you might want to try. So Debbie, do you suggest DigestZen for people who are pregnant?
Absolutely, and very often all you have to do is open the bottle, let them smell it.
Yep. So that's it.
That's very effective.
Yeah, just right there. I have lots of friends that say I just need to open the bottle in the morning and smell it, and then she's good. So,
yeah, if they don't tolerate the fennel smell or the anise smell, then I just go with ginger and peppermint.
Yeah.
And I've met some people that don't tolerate the fennel smell. Like they'll like all sorts of types of oils, but the fennel sometimes there are some people that don't like the fennel smell. So peppermint, ginger.
And fennel does have a hormonal balancing effect, and sometimes that's tolerated really well during pregnancy, and sometimes it's not at all. So it's really individual.
Depends on the mum, and I like what you say. Just trust her instinct, trust her sense of smell. It'll tell you which way to go. Yeah, so that's awesome.
Now, I will say that trust the sense of smell. The legal department at doTERRA would not let me say that in the video that's coming up here on the 6th and 7th of June. They would not let me say that.
Like, don't rely on your sense of smell.
They would not let me say that. Because I say trust your nose.
Yeah.
If a pregnant woman does not like the smell of it, put the cap back on and put it aside for a time.
But wouldn't you be like anxious and stressed out and feel when she doesn't like the smell?
Yep, that's correct. And throw her into fight or flight.
To do something that she doesn't enjoy.
Yep, that's right.
She's pregnant, for crying out loud. Don't make her more uncomfortable.
Yep. So when you watch that Empowered Life series that's coming up in June, just pretend that Debbie Gordon said,
Yeah. Oh, gee. Well, we know this is where we stand. Okay, so it's like your body. Like if you don't feel like a certain food, don't make yourself eat it. If you don't want to. Doesn't have to be that way. So fantastic. Thank you, Debbie. So glad you're on this call. For the the nausea. Sometimes it makes you nauseous. I'm sorry, but sometimes, like Debbie says, I have a daughter that she smells Digest Zen and she thinks of throwing up. So, you know, if that's the case, then use something else, okay? Okay, so we have food sensitivities, and this is really interesting. When I was, before doTERRA, BD, I had lots of food sensitivities, but I'm pleasantly surprised now how easily I can eat different foods. Not that I you know, go out and eat all sorts of junk food, but once in a while, if I had to try some, I don't have to suffer so much. So I feel like it's because my body's cleaner and my cells are more tolerant. So you'll find that you don't have to live that life in a bubble anymore. So you guys, you know, out there that feel like, I can't eat anything, you know, your body, as it cleans and becomes more tolerant, you're able to you know, be okay with things. So I worry because when I travel, sometimes I don't know how people prepare the food, but you're just going to eat it anyways. And I find that my body just adapts really quickly. So that's the benefit of using the oils daily and cleansing your cells, guys. Okay. The next one here, you guys, make sure you just, you know, raise your hand if you want to say anything. I'm happy to stop. Sinus support. Sometimes people don't realize that the sinus problem is a gut problem. So I have people say, well, what about sinus? You know, and they think Digest Zen, that's funny. And I say, well, under the eyes, that's the stomach meridian. So I say, well, just put a drop of diluted Digest Zen on your cheeks, right underneath your eyes here. And a lot of people are pleasantly surprised that within 5 minutes, they can breathe again. And you can put a drop on your forehead and on the side of your nose. And that really helps. But of course, you want to drink Digest Zen and start cleansing out the gut for the sinus issues. Easy peasy? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so lower back discomfort. So sometimes we think, oh.
You skipped seasonal support.
Oh, sorry. Seasonal support.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah. So just 1 or 2 drops of Digest Zen. Because it's got you know, peppermint and other oils that help with you know, your histamine responses. So it's one of those oils that, like, I carry a bunch of oils with me, and sometimes if I don't have the oils I need, I can look at the ingredients and think, well, Digest Zen has the peppermint and some of the other oils that I need, so this does a job too. So Dr. Susan Lawton, she talks about this too. She says it's great for seasonal support. So there you go, guys. Okay, I'm just excited about this one here. It's way back when I first joined doTERRA, I had lots of back problems. And one of the things I learned really quickly was sometimes your back problem is because of your gut. And if you hold a lot of, you know, poop in there and you don't go, it may pull on your back. So if you're able to eliminate often, it alleviates a lot of that back tension, and it's so true. So guys, just count the times you go to the bathroom, number 2, and then make sure you go often, because sometimes that back problem is just, you know, a problem in the gut. Yeah, makes sense? Okay, so in Australia, we call it Bali bug, because a lot of Aussies like to go to Bali. It's just pretty close. But this is just a travel bug in general. You know, you travel and you don't know how people prepare their food, and they don't know if they wash their hands or not, and you've got water that's not quite clean. So you probably want to drink a couple of drops of Digest Zen in water, or rub it on your tummy. And I would do this every day. If I'm in a third world country, something I'd do it every day. So if my sissy was on the call, she would testify. You know, eating food, street food in Cambodia, she survived the whole trip without, you know, stopping. So it's
always a good one to keep on hand.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Before doTERRA, we'd always go get a
shot,
a bunch of pills and stuff, those little tiny pills.
Yeah.
But now there's no need for that at all.
No, this is so much healthier.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to pay for the toxins in your body. Yeah. Alrighty. So the last thing here is motion sickness. You can rub it on your ears. What I found was it wasn't as effective as putting straight ginger oil on. But sometimes some people, if you just have DigestZen, rub it on, it may just help you. But we're just, me and my girls are just very sensitive to motion. I think more so than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the first time I used it, it was great. Half the kids got sick and half of them didn't on long car rides. And then as soon as I discovered ginger, 100% of us didn't get sick.
So if you're going on a long road trip, you want to have your ginger, at least your DigestZen, and your bladder extender.
Can I tell you that ginger has opened up lots of conversations on the plane for me. I've enrolled 2 people because of that ginger on the plane. Because I'm like, do you mind if I put some ginger oil on my ears? And they're like, sure, okay. And I said, ginger oil helps me with my motion sickness because I get this way. And they're like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, it does smell good. And I said, have you heard of essential oils before? No. Well, and then I'm like, you're stuck with me. So, anyways, it's amazing. I have to have it. All right, we'll pause. Guys, what do you think so far? Anything else I need to add for the body aspect of DigestZen?
Any other ways?
I'm curious, Jade, if you've had any, when people have a lot of ringing in their ears or dizziness because of their ears, have you used any ginger for that?
No, we actually use the Helichrysum and Aroma Touch. And I talked to Dr. Susan Lawton, and she suggests a blend that's similar to On Guard, and rub it behind the ears and down to the jawline. And I think it's sort of an infection of some sort that she's thinking that people have. That's why it causes the ringing. So I don't know.
I've also used Purify for it, but I just wondered if you've ever used ginger.
Yeah, I just talked to a lady this morning. No, I talked to a lady this morning, and she's been using Helichrysum for 6 months, and her kids are saying that she doesn't say what as much. So she's listening and is responding much quicker.
I'm going to try that, Jade. I get a lot of ringing in my ears. Yeah. So I'm going to try that.
Yeah. And, guys, I just want to tell you, if it's an ear problem, just make sure you tell yourself, I hear love. I hear love. So whatever people say, you can interpret it as that's their sign of love. Yeah. My grandparents, it's a Vietnamese thing. When they see me, when my grandpa was alive, he would say, hey, you're too skinny, or my grandma would say, hey, you're too white or too black or too fat or whatever. It's just their way of saying, hey, I love you. I've noticed that you've changed. So it's, before with my grandpa, before he died, when I saw him, when I came back to Australia, and he's like, don't they feed you in America? You're too skinny. And I'm like, that's his way of saying I love you. So I hugged him and I said I love him back. So it's not a question of, hey, no, they do feed me, but it's hey, this is my interpretation of I love you. So you do that when you rub the oils on you and you hear what people say, you say, okay, that's a sign of love. Okay. So let's go back to DigestZen, the mind. So DigestZen is the oil of digestion. And according to the Emotions and Essential Oil book, some of the negative emotions that we need to shift out is overstimulated, loss of appetite for food or life, difficulty assimilating new information or experiences, feeling overwhelmed, apathetic, and unenthusiastic. All right. And the positive emotion we want to adopt, assimilating experiences, adjusting, nourished, and enthusiastic. Okay. So, you guys know, most people know that there's a lot of neurotransmitters in our gut, more than in our brains. And neurotransmitters are just brain chemicals You know, when our gut is not happy, our brain can be, or mind can be foggy and muddled. You know, I knew that, you know, I wasn't all quite present and clear thinking when I can't even remember my kids' names. You know, I'm like, you, whatever your name is, come here.
So it's kind of like
Yeah.
not processing.
Yeah, just things are not clicking.
Your experiences, not
You don't
processing
feel
life.
as sharp. Yeah.
Kind of like digesting
Yeah,
life.
exactly. And you're reading something and you think, I totally forgot what I read just now. It was 2 minutes ago. And you just don't remember. You reread things, and that's when you know that you've got some digestive concerns. Okay, so when we're in our minds a lot, you know, we rob our the rest of our body of the energy, so things slow down. Okay, so our gut slows down, and you know, we have sometimes constipation. What do you do? Yeah, Rob. Okay, and you know, we have to kind of make sure we share that energy down to the rest of our bodies so that we can have at least 3 to 4 bowel movements a day. And the bowel movements, it should be easy, you know, it should be soft and smooth, soft serve. So that's how you can just tell how well you're doing. Okay, so if it's another consistency, then you know, hey, I still have some work to do there. Alrighty, does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, okay, so when you're in your brain too much, you rob the rest of your body of energy, and of course things slow down, and then we cause lots of problems down here. So part of helping our body is to using oils that are very calming. So for people who are overstimulated, you can actually smell Digescen. There's other oils you can smell too, but smelling Digescen will help you with your neurotransmitters, and I would suggest drinking the oils. If Digescen stinks to you, then you want to work on allowing yourself to assimilate information. So sometimes you might have like a false belief of I'm not smart enough, or I can't learn. Some of those beliefs cause you to feel like I'm not able to digest. Okay, so you just you change the way you think. If the oil smells better to you, smells good even, it doesn't have to be a perfume smell, but just, you know, it's a pleasant smell for you, then you know that you're on the right path and you're accepting of this change. And here's an affirmation for you. I easily digest all of the information that comes my way. I am calm and still. Okay. And, you know, because we're talking about constipation, holding things in, I wanted to share with you the emotions of constipation. It's about holding on to outdated, unhelpful, limiting beliefs. Okay, so if you can't go, you're holding on to something that you really don't need to hold on to. So if you're thinking about, you think about it physically, you're holding on to crap, right? Stuff that's just yucky, stinking thinking. So you want to rub Digescen on your tummy and, you know, smell the oils that help you calm down, like wild orange, forgive, balance, sandalwood. Those oils really relax your mind, so allowing you to share the energy with the rest of your body. So your body can, you know, move things along, okay? And some cool affirmations is I can thoroughly digest quickly what I need today for my life, okay? And then I am releasing all that is unhealthy for me. I release the need to understand everything, and I choose to trust in the process. Sometimes people hold on to things because they think, okay, let me check and double check and triple check, make sure I got everything, make sure I'm doing it perfectly and exactly right. And, you know, another word for that is perfectionist. So don't raise your hand if you know that's you. You know, this is an oil that might help you kind of let things go, absorb all you need for the moment and let it go. And if God thinks, hey, you're missing some information, he'll give you that lesson again, don't worry. Okay, so just keep it going, keep it flowing. Okay, makes sense? Thumbs up, yeah? Okay, so I do have a cute quote here from the Dalai Lama. Calm mind bring inner strength and self-confidence. So that's very important for good health. So, you know, the mind has so much to do with the good health. And it needs to be calm. All right, so we've got some extra oils here to help you, bergamot, balance, and in tune, to help you share the energy with the rest of your body instead of holding everything in here. Okay, and slowing everything down here. That's just, alrighty. So, what do you think guys?
Love that.
That makes sense to you?
Emotional support of digestion. It's like digesting your emotions.
Yeah. So when we're overstimulated, we just know, oh, okay, there's something there that I need to change. Okay, so let's move on to the spiritual side. Okay, so faith is about moving forward with that full knowledge of stuff. Okay, that's what faith really is. So remember, just think about those people who want to know everything and need to know everything before they move forward and hold on and hold on and hold on. Okay, that's all that controlling. That's not faith, right? So our body will give us clues to adapt and adjust as we go through life, so we can keep realigning with our divine source. Okay, when we realign with our source, we will be guided in the best possible way beyond our current understanding. And, you know, I know most people know this scripture, but I wanted to share it anyways. So the scripture says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. So you just follow that heart, right, that spirit, move forward. Don't have to lean on your understanding. I don't need to get everything and wrap my head around everything. Sometimes you look back and you learn lessons when you look back after you've moved forward. Okay, so that's okay. So in all thy ways, acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths. That's really powerful. So that's just helping us, giving us a clue. Okay, so anytime any digestive issues arise, whether it's just minor or major, it just take that hint to realign yourself again. Hey, wait a minute, I'm in a fearful emotion state. So some of the fear emotions are anxiety, stress, worry, tension. Sometimes we feel okay telling people, hey, I'm really stressed, I'm really anxious, I'm really worried. But you don't feel okay saying, hey, I'm in a fear state. You know, those other emotions are, hey, okay, because everyone has it. But, you know, tell yourself, hey, that's fear, it's not faith. Okay, as soon as I can be self-aware of my imbalance, I remind myself, hey, let's get back onto faith. All right, we are powerful creators. So what we focus on, we will create. So if we keep, you know, focusing on the fear, we'll allow ourselves to slip into that fear. And then we will create more darkness and drama in our lives. So we know plenty of friends that do that, right? They keep on, you know, allowing themselves to slide down that slippery slope and sitting in that pit. And then they really have a hard time getting out. So what we need to do is take the clue and then say, hey, look, I've got some digestive issues. Okay, that's a clue for me to know that, hey, I need to be more faith-filled. Because sometimes we hold faith and we hold fear on the other, faith in one hand and fear on the other hand. We just hold both and then think, why am I not moving forward? Okay, why am I so conflicted? And you're still holding on to both. You see what I mean? So it leads us to the first, second, third chakra, which is all about emotions of action and power, okay, and creation. So why am I not being able to create the life that I wanted? Why am I feeling insecure? So that's just the, you know, the lower energies, which is really, you know, that gut problem. Okay, so of course, physically, when we have the candida and the overgrowth of stuff, it's us allowing, you know, our minds to think that way. So if you want to get rid of the candida, the allergies, the autoimmune problems, the ulcers and cancers, you really need to address your issues at the root. And that's how you can heal permanently. And the root is a disconnection to God. Okay, because when we're holding on to fear, we are letting go really a little bit of that faith and disconnecting to God. So does that make sense? Okay, so when we work hard to let go and slowly just hold on to just the faith, we're allowed to move forward with both in our hands, but we really need to start letting go of the one that causes conflict and self-sabotage. All right, so remember, the faith is power, and we will create more positive and powerful things with our faith. So it's a great way to see where you're at in your progression. Okay. What do you guys think? Makes sense? Any questions, comments? Well, that's it for tonight, you guys, for Digest Zen.
And there's, of course, the PDF of the top 10 digestion oils, top 10 uses for digestion oils.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Awesome.
anything anybody wants to add or think that maybe we could improve on this?
Anything new that you learned today?
Yeah, a lot of new things. I'm in love with digestion. I don't know how I'm going to survive without it. And we'll not go anywhere without it. And it's just beautiful to see that, I'm helping my friends and my family with it, and just, complete strangers and helping them go through whatever it is that they're processing. Learned a lot today from you guys, additional information. So thank you. Really enjoyed that.
Jean, let me ask you something. Do you feel like you can make more connections now? Do you feel like I tell myself, I feel smarter, Do you feel that after you use the oils for some time, you think, oh, I feel smarter, I remember stuff. Yeah?
Absolutely. Like it's taken me right back to my journey, from where I'm going through my chemo treatment and just my mindset, and I'm just enjoying the whole in my mind and learning about my body and how it's communicating with me, making the connection.
Yeah.
It's so profound, and it does. It is really faithful. I think that's probably. I've always been a very spiritual person. My parents just raised us to be that way, but it's beautiful to see the connection between the spiritual and the healing and just everything else. And it's just, I feel like there's a beautiful balance. And yeah, my body's out of whack and I've got a lot of junk in my trunk, but it's okay. Like, we're dealing with it, and it's a process that I've got to go through. And I'm just indebted to doTERRA and to our tribe. I like to call it our ohana.
Awesome. Thank you. Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on our call. I'm sure we can share a lot of digestion stories, but we're out of time now.
Now, if you guys do have any digestion stories that you want to share, we welcome you to go ahead and go to jadebaldwin.com/digestzen and
put
just
the comments on the bottom.
Put the comments in the bottom here. So, yep.
It helps.
You can log in with Facebook or whatever. We love to read your stories, and everybody else appreciates the sharing as well.
Awesome. So we'll end our recording. Thank you so much.